Is this gonna be my first 5-star read in a while?
I'm a simple woman. Like, you compare someone to Tobias Eaton, and I'm sad.
Oh!
Hello, welcome back to my channel if you're new here. My name is Jordan. Yesterday I was watching YouTube, as one does, and I was watching a few like 24-hour readathons, and I was like, dang, like I would love to film one of those. With work, my schedule doesn't really, like I wouldn't really be able to do that. I was like, well, I could still set a 24-hour timer and just see how long it takes me to read uninterrupted for 24 hours. And like, I'll only have the timer going while I'm reading. So if I'm like, you know, gonna go eat breakfast or going to sleep or like whatever, I'm just like doing my normal daily things. Obviously the timer won't be going, but over the course of the next few days, I can see how much I read in 24 hours. Oh, hey Queen. Hi. At the point of this video is I just want to see how much I can read in 24 hours. The only caveat is that the 24 hours are going to be significantly split up throughout the next few days because technically I am off today, so I have the chance to read a bunch, but I do have plans right now. I'm getting brunch with an old friend, and then I'm going to the movies tonight. Me and Taylor are seeing Half-Blood Prince in theaters. I'm so excited, you have no idea. I don't know realistically how much time I'll get to read today, but we're officially gonna start the timer today. I'm currently reading Silver Elite by Danny Francis. I'm 100 pages in, and I got this when I started my book of the month subscription. And honestly, I just want to see what all the discourse is about with this book because I've heard so many mixed things. I was feeling left out. And I started this in my previous video and I had paused it because I was like, I don't really know how I feel about this, but I decided to keep going. And I'm finally at the point where she's in the academy in this school. It's low-key giving Divergent, which is what I wanted. The male love interest is giving 4, and I'm a simple woman. Like, you compare someone to Tobias Eaton, and I'm sad. So I worked out my legs yesterday for the first time. Did I already talk about this? I don't think I did. So I did weightlifting for the first time yesterday because okay, wait. Not for the first time ever. For the first time in like a year and a half. A year, maybe. What I do for working out is like going for walks, sometimes yoga and Pilates. So I have not done any sort of weight training in a really long time. I am so sore. And it's not even funny. Trying to like sit down on the floor right now to film this, absolute pain. Trying to get on my bed, just sit on my bed, pain. So I'm now at 22 hours and 42 minutes, and I've actually made it a lot farther than I was expecting. I went to the pool earlier after I got brunch with my friend, and I read 50 pages at the pool, which I'm pretty impressed with myself. Yeah, I'm so happy that I picked this book back up because it is it is so enjoyable. Yes, it's cheesy at times, but there's only been like 2 scenes where I'm like, the rest really hasn't been that bad. The main character is enjoyable. I like the banter. There's like some humor. I like the world building. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. I totally see now why my friend binged this book, because if I was off tomorrow, I would probably finish this book. I'm about to leave for the movies to go see Half-Blood Prince, and I'm so excited. I literally like, that is my favorite Harry Potter movie. It is so criminally underrated. It is so good. And it's both Taylor and I's favorite Harry Potter movie. So I'm so excited. I'm gonna fill up on popcorn and watch my favorite Harry Potter movie and have the time of my life with my bestie.
So we have 15 hours, 57 minutes, and 39 seconds on the clock currently, and I have officially finished my first book of this 24 hours. I gotta say, this book was an interesting one for me. I enjoyed it. I found that when I sat down to read, I would read it fairly quickly. It was very easy to understand, easy to digest. The main character was really funny. The plot was easy enough to understand. Like, just overall an enjoyable book, but I wasn't obsessed with it. Like, I never cried. I never felt like immense joy for what was happening or fear or whatever. Like, I think some parts got me where I was like, oh, wasn't expecting that. I didn't have this like deep emotional connection to this book or these characters. Of course, like I said, still very much enjoyed it. I think I'm gonna rate this 3.5 stars, maybe 4. Might need to give it some more thought. Probably, oh, I don't know, maybe 4. Yeah, probably 4. I don't know. Maybe 3.5. Honestly, this did remind me a lot of Divergent. I can see why people compare it. You know, you don't know who to trust, and everyone seems kind of shady, and everyone's hiding something. This was just like a typical dystopian novel, I feel like, with definitely a lot of romance. I wasn't obsessed with the romance, but it was good. Like, I enjoyed it. I believed it. Like I said, I think because I'm not like emotionally connected to this book, I'm also not emotionally connected to the romance. But I did think it was really sweet, and I definitely want to read book 2 when it comes out next year. Later this year? I actually have no idea. Yeah, I feel like I can't say too much about this book without like giving spoilers. But I'm curious to see where this story is going to go in book 2. I'm getting the sense that Ren is really just gonna like forge her own path and not conform to either side right now. There's like the prime side and then there's like the modified side, and she is modified, so she can like read people's minds, she can speak telepathically with people, like she just has abilities. And if you're a prime, you can't, right? So basically this world is like split up into these like 2 sides, and right now the primes are like currently in charge, and they're called like the command or whatever. I feel like in this book was her kind of like discovering herself and like where she stands in this world and like what she wants to fight for. And I feel like book 2 will really see that like come together, really see her forge her own path though without really conforming to any which way. I think for my next book, where is it? Hold on. Oh my gosh. Okay, so for book number 2, I am going with The Jasad Heir by Sarah Hashem. If you watched my birthday reading vlog, you know that I got this at the library like a week ago, and obviously have not started it yet. So very excited to start it tonight. And in fact, this is a duology, and the second book just came out not too long ago, and I've heard incredible things about not only this one, but the second one. And I have Barnes & Noble's gift cards to use from my birthday. So I'm thinking that if I am really enjoying this book, I might buy the duology tomorrow. I think I'm also going to buy the Six of Crows duology by Leigh Bardugo, just like I need to read it. And yes, I could borrow it from my library, but I haven't bought books in so long, and I have gift cards, so like I feel like I have to. But anyways, I am probably going to watch YouTube for a bit. I have some laundry to do. I honestly, with 15 hours left, well, actually basically 16, I wonder if I'll be able to finish this book and another one. We'll find out. Wait, guys, wait. I'm obsessed with this book. Guys, this book is so good. Oh my gosh. Is this gonna be my first 5-star read in a while? Okay, I don't wanna jinx it. I'm 84 pages in. I'm on chapter 5. And I don't wanna put this book down. Like, it's so good. And this is the first time in such a long time with like a fantasy book that I'm reading where I can actually like feel the tension or like feel the potential romance between the 2 characters, because usually it's just like, okay, yeah, they're like attracted to each other, whatever, they have some banter, like whatever, but like in this one I can like feel it. But romance aside, right, I mean, like, because this is, I don't want to reduce this book to just its qualities of romance, because genuinely I really enjoy the writing. This writing is incredible. It's very descriptive, but not in a way that's overbearing. Like it's easy to digest, and like her descriptions are done in a unique way that's super refreshing. I love the main character. She is just like just on the side of too mean, too brutal. So I'm kind of excited to see like her character growth. I did end up buying this yesterday at Barnes & Noble. I'm glad that I'm enjoying it as much as I am, since I do own it now. And I also got the second one because I don't know, I'm just a girl. I have about 13 hours and 44 minutes left on the timer, and I want to try to get it down to at least like 10 hours today. Like I want to read a lot today. I honestly think that I'll finish this one and like maybe dip my toes into the second one by the time this timer goes off, because there's just no way I'm finishing both books before the timer goes off, because I'm reading these kind of slowly. Like I've been reading this book for what, like 2 hours, and I'm only like 85 pages in. So I thought I would finally come on here and give you guys a reading update, because I feel like I am long overdue. I have 6 hours and 40 minutes left on the timer. So realistically, I think I will finish the timer tomorrow. It is already like 5 p.m. and I'm going to the movies later. So realistically, I just cannot imagine me reading for 6 hours today. I'm on page 250. So that means I have about 230 pages left. I'm a little over halfway. It's taking me so much longer to read this book than I was expecting. I feel like I've learned a lot in this 24-hour readathon about just like me and my reading habits. And one of them is definitely that I read slower than I thought, which I guess it also can depend on the book. I feel like if this was a romance book, I tend to read those quicker. But for something more like a fantasy, I'm trying to take everything in and understand the context and the world building, so I tend to take them in slower. I am anticipating that I'll probably finish this book at the same time that the timer ends, around there, is what I'm expecting. I think the last thing we talked about was that I'm really enjoying this book, and that is still very much true. I am thoroughly just so enthralled in this world, and I love how funny the main character is. I've laughed out loud so many times. The romance is done so well. So yeah, feeling the same way that I felt last time we talked. But yeah, that's about it. Really quick update. I am off the next 2 days. Let's freaking go. So for sure I'm going to finish this book by tomorrow, and then either way, even if it takes me a little bit longer to finish this before the timer runs out, I still want to give my final thoughts, my final updates, because I haven't had a potential 5-star in so long, and it feels so good. I'm so happy. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna read. So I am happy to report two very exciting things. Number one is that I officially finished this 24-hour challenge. I am not going to admit how long it actually took me to read for 24 hours. I will say I did not realize how much little time I've been spending every day reading until this challenge, so that was fun. But the second piece of exciting news is that I also finished my book. When the timer ended, I technically had 10 pages left, but like, come on, I'm gonna count it. Like, I read 2 books. This book, where do I even begin? This book was incredible. I gave it 5 stars. That should be no surprise. I loved every single thing about this book. Not only was it incredibly well written, but the world that the author created was just so captivating and so interesting. Like, I genuinely was very curious in this like political climate that she had created with these different kingdoms, and I really loved the like intricate political world that she created. And this was her debut novel, which is just like speechless. Like, I genuinely don't know if I've ever read such an incredible debut novel. I would say my 2 favorite things about this book, one of them was the main character. Sylvia was such a complex, frustrating, yet lovable character. Like, she makes decisions that you might want to question, but you have to take in the context of how she was raised and who raised her and the things that she's gone through. So there were maybe a handful of times where I was like, oh, like, what are you doing? But it really wasn't that bad, because in a way, like, I was so connected to her and the characters in the story, that like I trusted her to like make the right decision. I trusted her that she knew what she was doing. So I never felt frustrated with her, which I know is a common theme where the female main character is making decisions and you're just like, oh my gosh, like, what are you doing? I never really had that with this book. So I think that played a big role in me enjoying this. I thought she was so funny, genuinely laughed out loud so many times because of her. She was just very quick-witted and sarcastic and just my favorite like type of female main character. Like, guys, I loved her so much. Like, I can't stop smiling because of how incredible this book was. One of the other things that I absolutely loved about this book that I definitely have mentioned briefly already is the slow burn in this book. The romance, dude, it was such an incredible slow burn. I remember I filmed a little TikTok yesterday of me reading this book, and I think I was on page 350 or 380 something, and the characters hadn't even kissed yet. I was like so far in this book, and there were so many times where I'd been like giddy and giggling and kicking my feet, and they hadn't even kissed yet. Like, that's just how well the romance was done. Like, I was able to feel it between Aaron and Sylvia, and it was all in actions and in glances and in facial expressions and in just those little moments. Like, that was the romance. Like, that's what did it for me. Oh my gosh, it was so good. There was one point at the end of the book where I started crying. It wasn't even a sad part. I am so attached to these characters and I want them to be happy that I felt like I was in the moment with them. If there's anything you should take away from this video, it's how incredible that book was. And like, you should add it to your TBR if it's not on there already. Oh, so good. This was my first 5-star. Well, technically since July, but my 5-star in July was a reread. So technically since June. This is my first 5-star since June, which is just crazy. I honestly was starting to think that something was wrong with me because I was in a reading slump basically all of August and some of July. And ever since then, I just haven't had a 5-star. Like, nothing's really, like, I've read good books, but nothing's really like captured me. So I was kind of worried. I was like, is there something wrong with me? Like, am I just unable to enjoy books all of a sudden? I don't know. I was having a moment. But I'm so grateful that this book was 5 stars and I was able to feel so deeply. In a way, it's reassuring. And I just know that going forward, I will hopefully have some more 5-star reads, which is exciting. I don't think I'm going to pick up the second book yet. For those of you who don't know, it is a duology. The second book just came out and I've heard it's very sad. I'm not going to pick it up yet. only because I'm about to start filming another video. And for that one, there are specific books that I have to read. So I'm going to wait a few weeks. But honestly, I think that's good. I think I'm not ready to say goodbye to these characters in this world yet. So I'm okay with waiting a bit. But yeah, I mean, that is really going to conclude this 24-hour readathon. I think, like I mentioned earlier, this challenge made me realize how little time I read every day. And so I think, if anything, it's made me want to be more intentional with my time spent every day. You know, instead of taking these little breaks throughout my day to scroll on social media and do all these things, like, you know, can I just pick up my book instead and be reading a few pages here and there? I definitely just want to be more intentional with reading and prioritize it a little bit more, because since my reading slump, I don't think I have been. And I don't know, this book has just reminded me of like how much I love reading and how good it feels to get lost in a really good story. Honestly, I'm glad that y'all could come on this journey with me. Really glad I made this 24-hour video. Yes, I only read 2 books, Silver Elite and this one, the Jasad Heir. But regardless, it was still really fun to see how many books I can read in 24 hours. And yes, I did read fewer books than I was expecting, but honestly, I think if I had just read, you know, romance books for this challenge, I think I could have maybe read 3 or 4, but I did decide to read like 2 thicker, like dystopian fantasy books, so it makes sense that I only read 2. I don't think I should try to like force myself to read faster, because I don't think I would take in as much as I did. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this week's video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.